Is a gluten-free, casein-free diet safe for my child diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder? Hello all, my name is Haley Haber-Fink. Did you know that autism now affects about 1 in 68 individuals? That's a pretty high number. According to the organization Autism Speaks, it is the fastest growing developmental disorder within the United States. That can be pretty shocking. For those of you who have children or a child who has been diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, you know the daily struggles of living with this disorder for your child and for your family. I'm sure many of you would be willing to try out whatever new suggestion is thrown out of how to help relieve some of these symptoms of living with this disorder. How many of you have previously tried implementing this type of exclusion diet, the gluten-free, casein-free diet? Of those of you who have, and even those who haven't, have you worried about the safety of this diet for your child? Many studies have been done and research has been conducted, and it is found that this gluten-free, casein-free diet is safe for use among individuals diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. Many of these studies conducted have shown that they still meet the set requirements for nutrient intakes. One study that was done showed that those who participated in a gluten-free, casein-free diet had a higher intake of nutrients like vegetables, fiber, and foods like legumes. And they even had a better quality intake of fats. So they had more of those healthy fats rather than the bad fats compared to those individuals who did not participate in the gluten-free, casein-free diet. Implementing this exclusion diet has been found that it has no significant effect on the energy intake of these individuals. Putting a child with autism on the gluten-free, casein-free diet will not lower their overall energy intake. One specific study that was done by E. Cornish and was published in the Journal of Human Nutrition and Dietetics in 2002 asked caregivers of 36 children diagnosed with autism disorder to keep a journal of their consumption habits for 3 days. So everything that was eaten or everything that the child drank for this 3-day period was written down. These children were split into 2 groups, those who followed the gluten-free, casein-free diet and those who did not. This information was returned to Cornish, where Cornish and their colleagues examined the information, and they found that the individuals that followed the gluten-free, casein-free diet and those who did not were both meeting the estimated average requirements for daily energy intakes. So even though some were following the diet and some were not, there was no difference in having to meet those requirements. They all met those. A gluten-free, casein-free diet does not put the individual at an increased risk of developing a nutritional deficiency. In this same study that was done by Cornish, it was found that there was no difference in protein or micronutrient intakes between the 2 groups. So even though some of those individuals followed the gluten-free, casein-free diet, their micronutrient intakes remained about the same. Although those who did follow this diet were found to have a higher intake of fruits and vegetables to make up for the lack of gluten and casein products. This information from the study should, however, be taken with caution, as the study was done with a very small sample size. While the implementation of this gluten-free, casein-free diet is safe for individuals diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, nutrient intake should still be closely monitored. We want to make sure that these individuals maintain a safe diet and to avoid any harm, so to maintain those healthy levels. Thank you.